Welcome back to Mind Maze, where only the sharpest minds survive. Take a deep breath. Let your thoughts flow freely. This is your space to think. Here comes your first challenge. A prisoner is brought into a mysterious room with two identical doors. One leads to freedom, the other to certain death. Standing before each door is a guard. One guard always tells the truth. The other always lies. The prisoner doesn't know which is which. He is told. You may ask one guard one question to figure out which door leads to freedom. What should the prisoner ask? To ensure he chooses the correct door. Take your time to think. The answer may seem twisted, but there's a simple logic behind it. Here's the solution. The prisoner should ask either guard. If I were to ask the other guard which door leads to freedom, what would he say? Then, the prisoner must choose the opposite door. Why? Let's break it down. If you ask the truthful guard, he will truthfully tell you what the lying guard would say. But the liar would point to the wrong door. So the truthful guard will report the wrong door. If you ask the lying guard, he will lie about what the truthful guard would say. Since the truthful guard would tell you the right door, the liar will again point to the wrong door. In both cases, the answer points to the wrong door. So, by choosing the opposite, you find your way to freedom. Ready for the next challenge? This one tests how carefully you observe and think. You have 3 boxes. One contains only apples. One contains only oranges. One contains a mix of both apples and oranges. Each box is labeled, but all labels are wrong. You may pick one fruit from one box without looking inside. How can you figure out what each box actually contains by picking just one fruit? Think carefully. Here's the key. Since all labels are wrong, the box labeled mixed cannot contain mixed fruit. It must contain either only apples or only oranges. Pick one fruit from the box labeled mixed. If it's an apple, then that box contains only apples. If it's an orange, then that box contains only oranges. Now, because the labels are all wrong, you can deduce the contents of the other boxes by elimination. For example, if the mixed labeled box has apples, then the box labeled apples cannot have apples, since labels are wrong, nor can it have mixed because the mixed box is identified, so it must have only oranges. The remaining box, labeled oranges, must contain the mixed fruit. By picking just one fruit from the box labeled mixed, you unravel the true contents of all 3 boxes. Imagine you are in a room with 3 light switches. In another room, there are 3 light bulbs, each controlled by one switch. You can only go into the bulb room once. How do you figure out which switch controls which bulb? Take your time. Here's the trick. Turn on the first switch and leave it on for a few minutes. Then turn it off, turn the second switch on, and immediately go into the bulb room. The bulb that is on corresponds to the second switch, because it's currently on. The bulb that is off but warm corresponds to the first switch, because it was on for a while and just turned off. The bulb that is off and cold corresponds to the third switch, never turned on. By feeling the bulb's temperature and checking which is lit, you match switches to bulbs with only one trip. For people need to cross a narrow bridge at night. There's only one flashlight, and at most 2 people can cross at once. They all walk at different speeds. Person A crosses in 1 minute. Person B crosses in 2 minutes. Person C crosses in 7 minutes. Person D crosses in 10 minutes. When 2 people cross, they must go at the slower person's pace. How do they all get across the bridge in 17 minutes or less? Take your time. Pause for 90 seconds. The key is in minimizing slow crossings. A and B cross first, 2 minutes. A returns with the flashlight, 1 minute. C and D cross together, 10 minutes. B returns with the flashlight, 2 minutes. A and B cross again, 2 minutes. Total time equals 2 plus 1 plus 10 plus 2 plus 2 is equal to 17 minutes. You have 2 identical eggs and a 100-story building. You want to find the highest floor from which you can drop an egg without it breaking. If an egg breaks, it can't be used again. What's the minimum number of drops required to guarantee finding that floor? Think carefully. The trick is to minimize worst-case drops by balancing steps. Drop the first egg from floor 14, then 27, 13 floors up, then 39, etc., decreasing the gap each time by 1 floor. This way, if the egg breaks, you can test floors below sequentially with the second egg. The minimum guaranteed drops is 14. Riddle 6. The Blue Eyes Puzzle. On an island, 100 people have blue or brown eyes, but no one knows their own eye color. If someone discovers they have blue eyes, they must leave the island at midnight. Everyone can see others' eye colors but not their own. One day, a visitor says, "At least one of you has blue eyes." What happens? Think this one through carefully. This is a classic logic chain. If there was only one blue-eyed person, they would leave the first night. With 2, they would wait 1 night and leave the second night after realizing the other didn't leave. With 100 blue-eyed people, they all leave at midnight on the 100th night. A man walks into a room with 2 fathers and 2 sons. But there are only 3 people in the room. How is this possible? Let the puzzle simmer in your mind. This works because the group consists of 3 generations. A grandfather, father. His son, father and son. And his grandson, son. So, 2 fathers and 2 sons can be just 3 people. 3 friends split a $30 bill for a hotel room, paying $10 each. Later, the clerk realizes the room only costs $25, so he gives $5 back. Since $5 can't be split evenly, the friends each take $1 back, and give $2 to the bellboy as a tip. So each friend paid $9, totaling $27, plus $2 tip equals $29. Where did the missing dollar go? Think it through slowly. The trick is in the way the money is added. Each friend paid $9, totaling $27. Of that $27, $25 went to the hotel, and $2 went to the bellboy. There is no missing dollar. The $2 tip is already part of the $27. A man was born in 1995 and died in 1953. How is this possible? Allow your mind to wander around this one. The numbers refer to room numbers in a hospital, not years. He was born in room 1995 and died in room 1953. A king has 1,000 bottles of wine, but one is poisoned. The poison is deadly but takes exactly 1 hour to kill. He has only 10 prisoners to test the wine. How can he find the poisoned bottle within 1 hour? This is a real brain bender. Pause for 90 seconds. Use binary testing. Label bottles 1 to 1,000 in binary. Give each prisoner a combination of sips from bottles corresponding to the ones in their binary number position. After 1 hour, the pattern of prisoners who die reveals the poisoned bottle. With 10 prisoners, 2 to the power of 10 equals 1024. This method identifies the poisoned bottle in 1 hour. You've made it through a maze of mind-bending riddles. Well done! Remember, the greatest power lies in your ability to think critically and stay curious. If you enjoyed this journey, please like, subscribe, and share with fellow seekers of knowledge. And if you want more puzzles, let me know in the comments. Your next challenge awaits. Until next time, keep your mind sharp and your spirit calm. This is Mind Maze, signing off.